Hello, it's Bill, the knee pain guru, and today we are going to talk about what to do with bad knee history. A lot of people run into this. They have an issue with their knee when they're younger. The issue never gets resolved, and it seems like the more they go to doctors, physical therapists, to get help, to get an answer as to what's going on with their knee, they kind of run into this loop. It's part of the conventional medical model. It's pain management, not pain elimination. And there was a reply that came to one of the videos that I had recorded earlier this week. And it was from Sandeep, and she was indicating that she's had really bad knee history. She can't bend her right knee. Doctors say it's locked in this bending positions. They performed arthroscopy. They cannot find any reason or a treatment to fix this. This happened many years ago, been through many doctors and hospitals, medicines, therapies, and experiments of taking out fluid of her knee. And it breaks her heart to think that it would never heal. Just wish she can get some counseling with this. I asked her what the official diagnosis was. Like, what was the diagnosis of the knee, because in order for them to do procedures, they have to have some sort of knee diagnosis for insurance purposes. And she said, it sounds ridiculous, but they never found anything. Someone said the knee is locked. Some said she had juvenile arthritis. Some other doctors said there's a mass accumulated in there. I'm assuming that would be like scar tissue building up in there. She was given a bunch of medicines which made her sleep a lot, but never helped in curing the knee. And this sounds like it would be like an outlier, like a not a very common issue, but surprisingly enough, it happens quite frequently. Excuse me, it happens quite frequently that the reason the knee doesn't bend, the reason it doesn't heal, is because every procedure that the patient goes through is another trauma to the knee. And it's important to understand that if there's nothing broken or torn in the knee, anything that the medical model is going to introduce to the knee is going to introduce an additional trauma, surgery, an injection, something like that. And what ends up happening is every time the knee experiences this, it tenses up more to protect itself. Just a natural response to a threat, to a trauma, to a surgery, to an injury, to something that hurts the knee. Every time that happens, the knee gets tenser and tighter and tenser and tighter. And what happens is this sets up the conditions where the joint is squeezing very tight together, that the nerve irritation is constant, and the doctor is not given an answer. There is no official diagnosis that's happening. So there's a what I refer to as a pain tension loop. The body experiences pain, it tenses up to protect itself. The more tension it feels, the more it irritates the nerves, causing more pain. And unless we start introducing comfort or giving relief to the knee joint by getting the pressure off of the nerves, causing the joint to relax, the joint relaxes, it creates more space. The more space it has, the more comfortable it is. So it begins to reverse the process of the pain tension loop. Until this starts happening, it's a perpetual cycle that causes the knee to get tighter, more uncomfortable, more stiff, less flexibility, less mobility. Whatever that experience is, it's because of the threat of pain, the experience of pain that the knee feels that causes it to get tighter. So the idea is, no matter how long the history has been, you could be diagnosed with bone on bone. You just could have sprained your knee a few weeks ago. The fact of the matter is, the underlying cause of all pain in the knee, unless something is diagnosed as broken or torn, is irritation of the nerves. The more we get comfort in the knee, the more the joint relaxes, the more comfortable it is. And then the whole reason you're watching this video is no longer applicable. The whole reason you're going to the doctor or the physical therapist no longer applies, because the knee is no longer hurts. And you don't care what your diagnosis is as long as nothing is broken or torn. So welcome those that are joining on the call. If you have questions about your knees, please type those in, and I will read those and answer those live on the call here. So what do you do? What's the key? How do you begin to create comfort in the knee? And it's a huge distinction, because it's not sitting on your butt and on the couch waiting for the knee to suddenly feel better, because that's not going to happen. You have to play an active role in this process of creating comfort in the knee. So what does that look like? That looks like getting the pressure off of the tiny little nerves, the width of an eyelash in the knee that are being squeezed, that are being irritated. You work with the intrinsic movement of the joint. Intrinsic movement is the slight rotation, the slight side-to-side movement, forward and back, apart and together. And when the joint holds on to protect itself, it squeezes the nerves in the knee in one of those planes of motions. I see Sandeep is here on live on the call, which is great. I just was reading her comments that she had left for me underneath the YouTube video. So here is your strategy, Sandeep. Go to my website, thekneepainguru.com. Take the 7-day knee pain reduction challenge. And what it is it's one video. However, I get about 80 to 90% results with anyone who uses it. I'm sorry, 80 to 90% of the people that go and work with that video get some sort of results in the 7-day period of time. So you watch the video, and then you start working with, I send an email every day for a week, which is giving you a different way of looking at that one video. And it begins to give you the tools and the knowledge and understanding of what's causing the pain in your knee and how you can begin experiencing relief. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's like stopping by, me having a little sample. Here, sample this. Try this for your knee. See if you get results. And then I got plenty more where that came from in terms of programs where I work with clients and all that. But right now, just try the 7-day knee pain reduction challenge. Start getting results with that to know that obviously what you have been doing hasn't been working. You're looking for something new and different. Well, what I have to offer is new and different. Something that is focusing on comfort, getting the pressure off of the nerves in the knee, and getting you relief. And it's not like you have to wait for relief. We're talking about like pulling a splinter from your finger. It hurts. The minute you pull the splinter out of your finger, there's relief. Even though the finger still needs to heal, you have the experience of that now the finger has a chance to heal. And it's the same thing when you create comfort in the knee, that you get the pressure off of the nerves, and now the knee can begin to heal. Hey, Mark, how you doing? How are things going down in New Zealand? Let's see. If anyone, I'm waiting for questions. If there are no questions, I'm going to wrap this up here shortly. These aren't meant to be super long. Nice, Mark. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, there's a few people on the call here. If you have questions going on about your knee, please ask them. If not, I'm going to wrap this up. Tell you to head over to my website, take the 7-day knee pain reduction challenge, start getting results in your knee. And yeah, I do these, I try to do them once a day. We're getting it about 6 times a week, 6 days out of a week we get it. Let's see, will you get some relief if you have a torn meniscus? Betsy, great question. You can get relief with a torn meniscus. However, the source of the pain, every time you catch that meniscus, excuse me, Every time you catch the torn meniscus again, the knee's going to go back into pain. Now, I will say that with a caveat. It depends on the degree of tear in the meniscus. Some meniscus is torn like huge, where it catches and it'll lock the knee up. You have others that are very tiny. So not all meniscus tears are created equal. We have to look at the degree of meniscus tear, the location of the meniscus tear. I was good, Betsy, until I started answering your question. The degree of meniscus tear, the direction of the meniscus tear, it could be horizontal, it could be vertical, it could be diagonal, and it could be the location of the meniscus tear, meaning is it in a place that the joint, you have a movement that irritates that meniscus tear often. So that's going to give an indication of whether you're going to catch the meniscus again and cause it pain. You could think of it like a hangnail. Hangnail doesn't hurt until I catch it on a sweater or something like that, and then it hurts again. Does that make sense? If it does, let me know. Anybody who's joining, if you have questions about what's going on with your knee, please let me know. I'm liking the comments. Facebook likes when I like the comments. Oh, here we go. Oop. A cleavage tear at the root is all you know. Betsy, you're going to have to do a little bit. You're going to have to do a little bit of research, looking at your diagnosis to see on the MRI report. It'll give degree of tear. They'll say millimeters. They usually do it in millimeters. The amount of tear, cleavage tear. I won't even go there, but you need to take a look at where the location of it is. I'm of the belief, depending on the tear, your meniscus has the capacity to heal itself if given the right conditions to do so. There's a lot of other factors that go into that, and I'd probably get into it on another video because that can get pretty deep. But I would have you do a little bit of research on the location of the tear, the degree of the tear, and is the doctor saying it can heal on its own? Because doctors will say, depending on the degree of tear, that the meniscus can heal on its own. Sandeep asks, can you tell me more about the 7-day pain relief? Is it therapy or medicine? It would be along the lines of a therapy. I refer to them specifically as pain pattern interrupts, which gets the pressure off of the nerves that are causing the irritation. You're working with your knee. There's two different movements of the knee. There's a gross motor movement, so the knee bends and extends. That's the gross motor movement of the knee. Then there's the intrinsic movement of the knee. Intrinsic movement is slight rotation, slight side to side, slight forward and back, slight tilting, and a slight apart and together. And what you're doing is with this 7-day knee pain reduction challenge is you're working with one of those planes of motion, the rotation, to get the pressure off of the nerves that are causing your knee to be stiff, to be tight, to be painful, to be uncomfortable, to be whatever you feel. I look at it from a nervous system level. The nerves are the only reason anyone feels pain in their knee is because of nerve irritation. We get the pressure off of the nerves, the relief is pretty immediate. It happens, like I said just before, you pulling a splinter out of your finger. So you're working with a plane of motion in the intrinsic movement of your knee, getting the pressure off of those nerves, creating relief, and allowing the opportunity for the joint to relax which creates a little bit of space. Blood and oxygen can move into the joint easier because it's not so tight. And now it sets up the conditions so your body is able to heal itself better. Okay. I don't have a lot more to say tonight. If there aren't any more questions, I'm going to wrap this up and encourage everyone to like this video, to share this video with someone you know that's limping around with knee pain. It'd be good for them to hear this information. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. This is also going to be uploaded to my YouTube channel. My website is thekneepainguru.com. That's where the 7-day knee pain reduction challenge. I start with this program. It will help me with pain. Any chance it will help me bending the knee again? Yes, of course. Like I said, this is a sample. That 7-day knee pain reduction challenge is a sample. You start getting results with that, then I'd encourage you to get into one of my more comprehensive programs that works with the entire knee. The only reason you can't bend your knee is because the joint is squeezing tight together. You go to bend your knee, and the knee doesn't want to bend because it feels pain. The more you get your knee comfortable, the more it's going to be able to bend. Does that make sense? I mean, it's one of those things that it's kind of a gimme. Like if we look at pain from a logical perspective, aside from the emotion that it evokes, pain, it's like, I want to go move away from pain, with natural response to the body. The idea is we get the knee comfortable. When the joint relaxes, it creates more space, and now it's going to be able to move on its own. I guarantee you, though, that it's not just the knee that's affected. There's stuff going on in your hips and your lower back, probably in your ankles and feet as well, that play a role in the degree that your knee can bend. Your body is this interconnected series of pulleys and levers. The foot needs to bend in relationship to the lower part of the leg. The lower part of the leg needs to bend in relationship to the upper part of the leg. The upper part of the leg needs to bend and move in relationship to the hip and the lower back. When you compromise one of those, the body tenses up, which makes the rest of the pulley and lever system unable to engage the way it needs to. When you lead with comfort, you cause the body to relax and let go and create space, and the pulley and lever system in the ankle, the knee, and the hip can begin to engage the way it's designed to. But if you lead with exercise that causes pain, if you lead with anything that causes pain, what happens is it further embeds that pattern into the knee that it doesn't want to move that way anyhow. Okay, let's see. Just let you know, it's been a few years now. It looks like something is stuck in there. Well, I mean, if the doctor went in there and did an arthroscopy and they couldn't find anything, then there's nothing mechanically wrong with the knee. The reason you can't bend it is because the knee's in pain. It doesn't feel safe. When it doesn't feel safe, it's not going to move. That's just, I mean, if you think about it, if you don't feel safe going outside, you don't want to leave the house. If you don't feel safe going somewhere, you're not going to move from where you're at. It's just a universal principle that we're looking at. The knee doesn't feel safe to bend. It's not going to bend. No matter how much you force it, it's not going to bend. And it will develop scar tissue, and it will lock up further, and the joint will dehydrate, and you'll get diagnosed with arthritis. And then the joint further dehydrates, and then the joint continues to rub, and then you end up as a perfect candidate for a knee replacement surgery. And it doesn't matter your age. However, the doctors want you to wait as long as possible because knee replacements are only rated for 10 to 15 years. And the idea is they cut the bones off in your leg and replace it with plastic and metal in the hopes that you will die before they need to replace the joint again. I wish I could make this stuff up. I mean, it's absolutely kind of insane, their strategy. Okay, they found a yellow mass in there, and they did a biopsy and found nothing. I mean, Sandeep, we can go back and forth, and you can tell me all of these things that they found, but nothing was broken or torn. The key is start creating comfort in the knee, see how that changes, and then let's have a conversation on the other side of it. I think there was another question that came in. The browser isn't refreshing correctly. Let me see if I could find it on this other place. Let's see. There's the video. There I am. Okay. Okay, I can't see the most current. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, just try it. So whoever's joining us, if you got questions, please ask. I'm going to wrap it up here shortly. This was actually turned out to be a really good video. I'm grateful for the interaction, the questions. It's important. It's one of these things. You're welcome, Sandeep. Thank you for sending in your questions. If you please go to my website, thekneepainguru.com. Take the 7-day knee pain reduction challenge. Ask questions if you're watching the replay of this on Facebook or YouTube, and I will get those questions and answer those on future videos if there's an opportunity. If it's a good question, not every knee pain question is created equal. So, okay. Thank you all for being here. I'm grateful for being able to help. Yes, like and subscribe, share with your friends, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Where is the, okay.